Hey, we're back at LM Forsyth Stadium, and I'm telling you, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I am honored. Jennifer White is with us, and of course, a Loretta Mustang graduate, but maybe some of the groundwork was set here because it just got started at Loretta as far as your career, on to Louisiana Tech and all the things that you've done. First of all, how's everything going, girl?
You know, it's going really well. I've stopped coaching now, and I'm on to a new adventure, which I'll do anything to get back on the court.
You love it, don't you?
I love it. I've never known anything since I was in the second grade. So I'm back on the court, and I'm officiating now and hearing all those wonderful people say beautiful things to me.
I'll tell you what. How is officiating to playing? Over the years, you probably sometime didn't agree with the officiating, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
As a player, if you're competitive, you're never going to agree with them all the time.
Now, what about the people that want to argue with you now?
You know, having played and coached, it really helps me on the court as an official.
I bet it does.
I feel like I can talk the players out of technicals. I can even go, talk the coaches out of technicals. Mm-hmm. And it really helps to have that communication where I can talk basketball lingo instead of just doing like a lot of officials going, get back in your box, coach, be quiet, coach. I try to have a little conversation, and when they know I know the game, or I'll even know their offense, they're like, okay.
But you're different than the average coach. I'm going to tell you why. Because the average coach is a big fat guy that can't hardly get up the court. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Do you officiate with any of those?
Actually, I have. I've officiated especially with some men, actually. I've had to kind of put on my back and carry them a little bit because I've always felt, even as a player and as a coach, I always felt it was really important to be in shape. Uh-huh. And so I still am that way, and I exercise probably 6 out of 7 days to stay in shape.
Still look fantastic.
Well, thank you. So it's just real important to me. You get a lot of respect when you're out on the floor if the players can see that you can run and you can stay up with them. You just gain respect from the coaches and the players pretty quickly that way. So I just think if you're going to be an official and you step out on the court or the field, you need to look like you know what you're doing and you're in shape.
That's your life, girl. That's the way you've lived your life. Any bad officials?
Of course, there's not any profession where there's not some bad and some good. But yeah, there's officials that if you don't take the game seriously and you don't take it seriously,
some officials don't,
then you're not going to be good. You're not going to be good at anything. It doesn't matter what you do. So I take it really, really serious. I've even read. I think I've read the rule book more now than I did when I coached. I think I've read it because I chart everything I do because was a coach, and I think this past year I read it 14 times. And so absolutely.
I believe you. Yeah,
I want to go into a game, and if something happens, I want to know what to do. I don't want to kick a rule and then get back in the dressing room and then you're in trouble. So it's important to know what you're doing.
Boy, with the career that you've had, Louisiana Tech and all the stuff, what is just one of the highlights? It's just I don't know if I won't even ask you if there's one that is better than the other, but one that really sticks out. What's one of the highlights?
I probably have a couple.
When we retired your number at Loretta.
Look, that was huge. The funny thing about that is when they retired my number, right. I actually thought I was going out on the court. They were giving away a car that night. I'll never forget it. And when they called my name, I thought, well, they want me to draw the ticket. Honest to goodness. I said, I thought they wanted me to draw a ticket. So when I went out there and they started talking, like, oh, my gosh. But what made that so special is my sister wore the same number.
I didn't remember that.
She wore number 15, and after she graduated, then I said, I want that number. So I honestly felt like that happened for both of us because my sister was a great player.
Beverly.
Yeah, and the only reason I was as good a player as I was because of her, because I was in a store down here and I heard these two older gentlemen going. Me and my sister walked in, and our last name's White. Uh-huh. And they go, that's the two White sisters. And they go, see the little one? That was me. They go, she'll never be as good as her older sister. You talking about light a fire. Hey, lit a fire under me.
Probably, I don't know Bobby. Bobby's a little younger than I am, but probably one of the questions that still goes through the Loretta people is, which is the best, Beverly or you? You know what I'm saying? And Beverly's not around, is she? Right now?
She's not.
Okay.
She's not.
I always said you.
Well, you know what? I had my drive was a little different than my sister's. You know, I just after they made that comment, you know, like I had keys. Now this was in a different time, but you know, they gave me a key to. I had a key to Loretta High School to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
I had a key to Lexington High School. I could go work out there, and I had keys to Green Hill. So I would just go to those schools and work out, and I had a plan, and I knew what I was doing when I practiced by myself. It wasn't this shooting around stuff. Kids do that now, or go and just shoot threes. I had a plan. So, but the only reason I feel like, and I think my sister would say this too, that I ended up being better than hers because those two old guys, they didn't know what they said to this chick.
Don't you love that story?
They lit a fire under my, you know, they just lit a fire in me, and I said, we'll see.
You've got to, being coaching and all the things you've done, you've got to have done a million camps. Yeah, but I mean, I would be honored to send a daughter or to you, but I can just tell, but with talking to you right now.
I think I've done 121 camps.
Really?
This summer I did 4. I worked at the University of Texas women's camp, and I did. Brandy Perriman, who was a really good player at the University of Texas men's team, does a shooting camp, and he called me up and he said, "Will you work my camp?" I said, "Sure." And after the first week, he said, "Can you come out and work again?" I said, "Well, do you need me?" He said, "No, but I'll take you." So, you know, people don't realize how many hours. If you want to be really good at anything and then even get to great, it's about the practice and what you do in the practice. And I cannot tell you how many hours I spend in this gym over here. Still my favorite gym to shoot in, honest to goodness. Absolutely.
Do we still have the same floor?
Same floor.
Same floor.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I went in there probably 2 years ago, and I just shot and shot and shot, and I had me the best time. I didn't, you know, the main thing today is that I think a lot of kids are missing out. They weren't they're not as self-motivated.
I think you're exactly right.
And I was self-motivated, and no one had to say, "Oh, you need to go practice. You need to do this." And kids today aren't self-motivated. All this technology, and they're just very distracted, and I get it, but that makes a big difference between being average and then good and then great at something. You want to be great, you have to know how to practice by yourself.
Along the way, what player have you run into that is much like you in their practicing?
I'd say the closest player I've come to that would be Teresa Weatherspoon. You may not know that name, but she played at Louisiana Tech. She ended up winning a national championship in 1988. She played in the WNBA for New York. She was an Olympian. But she came in as a freshman at Louisiana Tech, and I said, if you will just listen to what we tell you, you will make an Olympic team. And she did, but she was hard-nosed. I tell people, if you want to be good, I mean, I think it's important to be nice, but on the court you need to be a little mean, talented, and smart. And she was all those things. So I have a lot of respect for her because her work ethic was really, really at a high level.
If you ran into somebody, would you help pick them up or anything? Would you?
You mean on the court?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I mean, why would I want to do such a thing? That's wasting my energy. Now, I was a good sport, but, you know, I can't be wasting my energy. I got to keep that for something else. But I think being a good sport's important. But I was very focused, and I had a little edge to me.
Right.
I had a little edge.
Don't most of the good ones? Don't you think?
Most of the good ones have an edge.
Yes, true.
You have a little bit something about you that's, you know, like people have this debate all the time about Jordan and LeBron and all that stuff. I say the thing about Jordan, he had that, you know, that killer instinct that knocked you down and keep going. And he just was, you know, he had ice water in his veins when it came to last second shot. So I still put him over in front of LeBron, but you have to have that little edge if you want to be good.
All right, I know we're going to let you out here in a minute, but Kobe, where do you put Kobe?
You know, I'm gonna have to. Kobe would probably be in my top 10. Definitely in my top 10, but he's just not as well-rounded altogether to me as Jordan was.
Right.
I mean, from a defensive. Now, I do think Kobe's a good defensive player, but let's see how he comes back from his Achilles. I sure hope he comes back because I think the NBA needs him right now.
Oh yeah, they're a little bit down. Also, one more thing. I've got one more question. Bobby, you may have something that you'd like to ask her, but I got one more question. My question is, can you remember a Mustang moment that kind of sticks out? I mean, I know, I'm not going to say it's been a long time ago, but.
You know, there's a couple that I remember, but, as an athlete, it seems like the ones we remember the most is the one that just hit us in our belly. You know, losing my senior year last game at that state tournament, I'll never forget that. We're up. All we got to do is get a rebound, and that girl jumps up and tips it in, they win the game. That, like, took my breath out from under me. But then I was motivated. I said, look, next time I get in a national championship game, we're going to win that thing. So, but just, you know, I had great teammates. We were fighters, you know, and so I just feel like my time here, the faculty was good to me. You know, they let me even bring a basketball to class with me. And, you know, I had a little tape recorder at night, and I put that tape recorder on it. It had a thing of the ball swishing through the net. My mother come in, what are you doing? I'm like, I just like hearing it. You know, it's like hearing it.
Did you really do that?
Absolutely. I was the biggest athletic nerd you have ever seen in your life. Absolutely.
I have never heard of that.
Yep.
Have you ever heard of that?
I wanted to hear it. I had to hear it. I had this old tape recorder, you know, the batters would go out and last for about 45 minutes, but it was enough for me to fall asleep. Some people count sheep. I was doing swishes.
I love it. Jennifer White, the best of luck to you. Officiating pretty much the career now.
Yes, I really like it. I'm hoping I can be good at it.
What level are you
Well,
at?
I'm hoping right now I'm doing all of high school in boys varsity, and I'm doing Division II, Division III, NAIA, and JUCO in college. And I've only been doing it a year, and now I've called over 200 games altogether in a year. People go, how is that possible? I'm like, well, 1 week I called 14 in a week. But I'm hoping the next year, if the good Lord keeps opening doors for me, that I'll be in Division I in about a year.
I'll say you will.
Well, I'm going to sure work hard at it.
I believe that. Good to see you, hon.
So nice. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Jennifer White, truly a legend in Loretta. I'm telling you. I am honored. I'm honored. Hey, we'll take a, thank you. We'll take about a 3-minute break, and we'll be right back.